game cartridges themselves. The game cartridges tend to get a little dirty, and you can tell by looking at this end, and you can tell by looking in there how dirty that they are. I'll show you the way that I clean them, that I think is the proper method. With your kit, you should have got a couple of these. It's just a popsicle stick with a cleaner cloth on the end. Very, very good for cleaning contacts and for the games. If you don't want to invest in a game opener, which we also sell, it's a little connector that goes on the end of a 1/4-inch spinner for taking apart the games, and I'll show you how to, I think, the best way to clean a game. If you don't want to do that, you can get one of these and simply rub this along the edge of either cartridge, and you can see how dirty that is, and you can see how much dirt there was. Now, the Mario 2, the Super Mario 2, which is a trademark of Nintendo, incidentally, it was dirty enough earlier that I couldn't get it to work. So one thing you may want to do is, it says not to use any alcohol on it, but what I like to do, I like to take these little cleaners that I provide, and the way that I provide them is with quite an extension on the end, and this is so that you can get inside the game and clean them, and I'll show you how to do that a little later. But once you've done that, what I like to do is cut away the flimsy end, and what that leaves me with is a pretty solid piece here. And what I do is I like to apply a little alcohol to that, not much, and this is not the proper way to apply alcohol, but I like to apply a little bit to that, a little dab, and kind of cut it in a point shape, and that'll let you down on that as you clean it and move it back and forth, both sides, and that way you don't have to take the cartridge apart. This is actually a cloth that is used in polishing silicon wafers, so it won't damage the contacts, and it's a very good cloth to use for that. You can see all the dirt and oxidation I've been able to remove from this one cartridge for the Super Nintendo, or this Mario 2 cartridge. So that is one way of doing it. Another way is to take the cartridge and actually open it up. This is the way I was trained as a computer technician to repair clean contacts on computers. Fit down inside and remove the screws out of the game. You can remove the screws and once they're loose, that gives you access to the insides of the cartridge. Now you can see some of the connectors are kind of dirty. So now you can actually get access to the whole thing. But what I prefer, and what actually works very, very good, is to get just an ordinary pencil eraser and just real lightly erase the contacts. And you can actually see the difference as you go across them and clean the contacts. You can actually see the difference in where you've been and where you haven't. It may remove a small portion of the gold from the contacts, but that's all right if you don't brush real hard and go right through the gold to the copper. So just if you do it ever so slightly, ever so lightly, it does a very, very, very good job of cleaning the contacts. We'll lay that face down, put the cover back on. There are two little, in most of the cartridges, there's two little indexing pins that have to mate, and it's kind of tricky to get them back on. So if the screws are in it, so I dump the screws out, index it back together so it's back properly together, and then return the screws to where they were. Now don't over tighten the screw. If you over tighten the screws, you can actually strip out the plastic threads. They're very sensitive.